What's up, everybody? It's John here, and I'm bringing you another Thoughts for the Road. Before we get started, hit that subscribe button. I would say preemptively hit that like button. But if you would like to wait till the end of the video, that is okay with me. So I'm not going to ask you to like something that you might not like. So here we are on Tuesday. People are passing me a little bit because I'm being a little slower than normal, because the last video I did, traffic came to a sudden stop and my truck skipped trying to stop, and I know that wasn't because I wasn't paying attention to the road, but if I was paying a little more attention, I probably would have seen it, or at least seen it coming. So here we are. It's Tuesday, day after Labor Day. Labor Day. So I spent the weekend hanging out with my kids, had a barbecue, things like that. And I was listening to Jordan Pierce, I believe his name is, and that whole issue that's going on with the law in Canada regarding the colleges and the regulation of speech when it comes to transgender people. Now, let me start by saying, I personally have no issue with gay people, bi people, transgender people, anybody from the LGBTQ, etc. community. There's too many letters, people. I'm sorry. I know that after Q there was like a whole thing that went on, and I don't know. Okay, no, not my thing. But I have nothing against them as an individual. By them I mean the people as individuals. I do, however, have a problem with the group mentality. Now, where I end up having a problem is, and it did not go to this extent with gay rights and the right to marry. I was all for gay people to marry. My buddy puts it perfectly. They should have the same right to be unhappy as the rest of us. But it became this thing where it wasn't just about individual gay people or the gay community as a whole wanting said rights. It became this issue of, I'm gay, accept me. We're gay, accept us. Open loving arms, give us kisses and everything. It wasn't a request, it was a demand. That's where I had the problem. And the same thing is happening with the transgender community. Accept us. Not a request, a demand. There was one that even went so far as to say that it should be a crime for a straight male, as he put it, a cis male. I hate these new terms. It should be a crime for a straight male to not date a trans woman. Look, my being okay with you doing whatever it is that you want to do within the confines of your own home or to your own body has nothing to do with who I want to date. I have not, nor will I, date a trans person. Okay? This is not me being transphobic. Okay? The whole phobic thing, that means I have an irrational fear of. No. I'm not afraid of anything. Well, there's a few things I'm afraid of, but not trans people. I just prefer my women natural, homegrown, no artificial preservatives or sweeteners. Okay? Or body parts. And you, for those of you who know me, you know the only thing that I like about breast implants is the fact that they glow if you put a flashlight to them. If you didn't know, look it up. It's kind of cool. There's a lady who makes lingerie for women with said augments, and it has a rope light, I guess, or a light, whatever. It makes them glow, so when they're at the club and they're like, woo, woo, they glow. It's really kind of fascinating. But so no, I'm not going to date a trans person because that's the only way that you feel, or said person feels, that I should accept it. That I should be required to date a trans person. No. And this is coming from a guy who has been single for the better part of the last 8 or 9 years. I've been on 3 dates in the last 8 or 9 years. And I still won't date a trans person. I prefer my women, natural women. So, again, it gets into this whole forcing thing. If you want to be gay, or you are gay, my apologies. If you are gay, if you are trans, if you want to transition, there is the want. Fine. Just be you. It's the same thing with vegans. You want to be a vegan? Fine. Be a vegan. Be a vegetarian. A vegetarian. But don't force your ideas on me or anybody else. My boss has this thing where he enjoys poking fun at atheists. He's a pastor as well. But his favorite poke at atheists are that no other group fights so hard to prove that God does not exist. So you have to prove that God doesn't exist. There was a correlation in my head, I promise you. There was a correlation between forcing me to accept plant-based diets and men being women and women being men, and men liking men and women liking women. There was a correlation between atheism, I promise you. What is that person beeping at? I don't know. But don't force it. Just be you. You do you, boo-boo. Nobody has to accept it. And there are going to be people who don't accept it. Don't let that get you. And the funny thing is There's a saying that says the squeaky wheel gets the grease. And that's exactly what's happening, from what I understand, is that it is the few. See, here we go with the slamming on the brakes again. It is the few that are screaming, look at me, look at me, look at me. Look at us, look at us, look at us. Accept us. Call us by this. And by the way, no. New words get picked up for things all the time. But they happen naturally. Somebody uses it, somebody else catches on, and then it keeps going. It's like that Mean Girls. Fetch. Girl kept trying to make fetch happen. It didn't happen. But that's how it is. One person uses it, and then somebody else picks it up. And if Regina George wasn't such a... it probably would have picked up. But language happens naturally. To force somebody to use a ever-growing list of pronouns, it's not going to happen. Now, I will be completely honest. I will look at a person and go, ma'am, ma'am, sir, ma'am, sir, sir. I see people as male and female. What was that called? Binary something. Binary thinking. Well, yeah. Because you are born physically and chromosomally, if that's a word, male or female. You either have a penis or you have a vagina. You have an XX chromosome or you have an XY chromosome. You are never born with an X, figure it out later, chromosome. Just be you. Let those who will accept you, accept you. Don't throw it in people's faces. There are going to be people who don't accept you. Too bad for them. I happen to know quite a few gay people that are very nice people. I can't say that I know a transgender person, although I have met a transgender person and she needs to shave really badly. And I'm not talking about her legs. But when you force your beliefs and ideas onto people is when people start to resent you for it. Veganism has become a joke because of shit like that. There are videos out there on converting people to meat eaters. And absolutely hilarious. Guys walking around with this slab of like flax steak in his hand, just chomping away on it, telling people how, you know, he's on an all meat diet. But that's what you reduce it to when you force feed people your ideas, your beliefs. I tell people in my company all the time to get to know their clients. Be friendly with their clients. Because at the end of the year, people look to trim their costs all the time, and it's hard. It's easy to fire the company. It's hard to fire the person. This correlates. I promise. This one correlates. For us, being force-fed It's easy to hate the group or to be fed up with the group if we're being force-fed their agenda. But if you're just you, and you're a likable person, people are going to like you no matter what you are. Now, there are some people that are very unlikable, and nobody's going to like you, whether you're transgender, gay, straight, Martian, although the government might like you if you're Martian. I hear they have a special table for you guys. I'm not saying that's right. That's for another video. But my suggestion would be, for all of you that's not part of this look at me, pay attention to us movement, I'd get out there and I'd start making noise. Again, squeaky wheel gets the grease. I would start making noise and going, this is not the opinion of me. Start a group, an official group. This is not the opinion of us.